Welcome to Wesos Blaston Tierlist. Joined by my smoothie today. Strawberry smoothie, the best flavor. And it's going to be gone before I even get through 4 of these. Because as you can see, there is a lot of things to rank. And this isn't even all of them. We're missing a few attachments. Because the community is bad and we don't do anything. We make Defer do it all for us. So, the best way to start a tier list, in my opinion, is to start with something in S and something with D. We'll kind of fill it in from there. So we'll start with this one? No, we'll start with the really worst one. Where is it at? There it is. What did I do? I messed up. Here it is. I tried to put it in a better tier. Not gonna happen. Majestic. Let's talk about it. I'm sure I'll be showing some god-awful footage in the background of Majestic being used. It's tiny, which is not always a bad thing. Let's be real. But it goes nowhere. It can't even make it all the way across the podium. It does, like, no damage. I don't even think you could hit a 2LP player with this thing. It's just not good. It's not making a cut. Okay, I don't want to talk about Majestic. Let's talk about Novanade. We don't have attachments for it, so we'll just kind of loop Novanade in here. Normal Novanade, like A, B tier. Fast Novanade. It's got to be an S tier weapon. I mean, woo, boom. Like, if you don't deal with it by A, shooting it down, or shielding it, or dodge like you're on crack, you're just dead. I mean, like, yeah, there's no avoiding that thing. You just have to deal with it, which is sort of a problem because it's just like an automatic bait. Yeah, so now we've got our lowest and we've got our highest. Let's sort of fill it in here. Fast Fall Hurricane. Obviously, this thing did get a nerf. Pretty decent nerf to its damage. But its damage is not really what I would consider why it made it as good as it is. Because normal Hurricanes, right? What am I doing? Don't mind me. A normal Hurricane is used as a trap, right? You shoot it up, it slowly falls down, it distracts them, yada, 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 Fast Fall Hurricane kind of is a trap, but it's more useful for, like, instant pressure, almost like a vector scenario where you shoot it and they're immediately taken away to look up, to the side or whatever. And so you're able to get that instant pressure, because with normal Hurricane, you shoot it and they have time to think, oh, do I want to deal with this? Do I want to deal with that? But with this, it's like, oh, all of it's coming in at once, and so you're sort of forced to deal with it, which sort of gives it that A-tier rank, in my opinion. As far as these other 2 cheese Hurricanes go, with, like, the one that shoots a lot of bullets and the ones that split, they're really annoying, but they're not as good. I think both of them are B tier, with normal Hurricane as well. I think normal Hurricane's the worst. There's no reason to not choose an attachment for it, in my opinion. But you can just stand. I know it's scary with these ones, but you have to sort of mentally force yourself to just get hit by them instead of try and dodge all of them, because you're just going to get hit by whatever their follow-up is. So you just have to tank, like, the split Hurricane, for example. They do, like, 2 damage. So you'll be fine, get hit by them, do 8 damage to you, less than, like a Raptor E or whatever outcome, or Wildcats or whatever they're going to be hitting you with. So, yeah, that concludes them. We've got a lot of people that would say Luma is S tier, and I disagree. I think Luma is high A tier. It is really, I think it was S tier last update when you were able to rapid fire these babies. I don't think it made too much of a difference, but I don't think Luma was already on the edge of not being S tier last update. It was super strong, don't get me wrong, but not in the same way that Novanade is. Because you at least had to aim with Luma versus Novanade, you just, boom. So I think normal Luma, I do think normal Luma is the best option. I know Curve can do some weird stuff, but I think mostly you're going to hit people because we don't have practice dodging against it. So if that's your thing, go for it. But as far as these other attachments go, We'll put this, it's not really that good, but it's Luma, so we'll put it in B tier. Curve one, I think curve is A, but not as good as normal one. Both the bounce and the splitty one, they're gonna go in this tier here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's keep chugging along. Lancenade. I like Lancenade. I really do. I used it in a Blaston tournament with my Lance. So my Lance and my split and Lancenade build. I can't talk. I used those together. Really good effect. Normal Lance, it's great to get a beam from whatever position, but the way you kind of are forced to lob it makes it sort of hard to predict where they're going to bait it, and then it's going to end up getting baited. So it's easy to bait Lancenade if they're not careful, is what I'm basically getting at. But since there's no Lancenade attachments in this tier list, the split Lancenade, that's the best one. The one that's instant, the Beam of Death, that one is extraordinarily annoying, but I don't think it's as good as the split one. The split one, you kind of just chuck that bad boy behind you, and it gets these harpsichord guitar string scenario, and it is just so effective for pressure. Like, boom, just like that, they are forced low, they're forced to the side. Yeah, it's not doing much, but it's allowing you just time to breathe. If they're trying to set up a combo, they're doing their hammer use, they're doing throwing whatever, you pop one of these bad boys out, it just delays it. It is a real nuisance, which to me is really really effective, which is why it's going to go in A tier. It's going to end up being lower A tier as we progress through things, but I think just for the split one, it's A tier. As you'll come to find, almost all nades can be used effectively. So while we're talking about it, let's just Hammer Nade B, Hammer Nade 3 B after the nerf. It would have been A before. Excuse me. Yeah, this one sucks. And then the fast one, we all know that's better than this. And now that we're talking about it, let's just go ahead and do this. And do no, it's not as good. Yeah, that seems about right. You know, whoops. Was that there? I think that was there. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I'm putting it there. I'll keep the Luma there. Now that I'm thinking about it, Split's really good, but it's sort of situational. I'm going to put it in a high B tier. I'm sort of just going to revise things as we go. That's all the hammer need. Yeah, cool. Let's talk about Lance. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty. I wanted to, you know, on paper, 4 seconds, 2 beams. You know, you spend what 9 on Lance Repeat for 3. You're like, okay, this is a bargain. I should be using this thing. But I don't know what it is, but again, it's sort of situational with the other lances to make it actually effective. So, Hurricane's really the better trap in my opinion. We'll put it right in the middle of the pack. Even all of its attachments. The one that's 4 shots, kind of cool. Again, middle of the pack situationalness. Lance Repeat, on the other hand, is still B tier. I've used this thing since the dawn of the dinosaurs, and I will continue using it when I'm in a panic and I need to try and do something. You've all seen it. We get to the last round, and I'm losing. Gotta pull out the Lance Repeat. Gotta give it a try. It's strong. Very strong. But it's so easy to get out-cycled with this that it makes it... It's sort of similar to Super Majestic. Both super strong. Not very effective if you don't finish them off in the first minute. You're just screwed. Or you do a big push and then you stop using it. I keep messing up. Don't mind me. Yeah, all of its attachments too still stand by this B tier. Majestic Nade, all of its attachments, some of them are pretty bad, but the one that allows it to go faster so you can travel farther, so you don't have to lob it right next to him, that's a good one. Which makes it here. You okay, dog? My dog is crying. Do not mind. Maybe she does not like my Majestic ranking. You want to talk about Tether? Oh, me too. Sad. Tether. You wish you could be here. I know you do. But you can't. And I'm arguably wanting to put you here just because the cheese that you can do with Viper and Hammer and the mid-tier, like, Elite and whatever the 1500 LP, whatever they're called anymore, I don't know. You can hit people. It's been proven because people will be like, no, well, Tether's not dead. I can still make it work. Yeah, you're making it work against dead-brained people who do not understand how to deal with it. You get to anything, even in Overlord. I have enough confidence in Overlord players, if that's saying anything about Tether, that they can deal with this thing. 5 seconds for potential back spawns for something that boosts non-existent amounts. Might as well just take Speed Hammer, Speed Wildcat, you know, not worth it. We'll just go in order. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know what all the Nova attachments are because I'm not Nova gang. Sorry, Oolong. I think Nova's a silly excuse for being bad at the game. I said it. I'm just kidding. Not really. What is this? I don't know. Where's the Fortress one? Which one looks strong? I don't know. Is it the one with the med pack? You know what? We'll just solve all my problems because I think they're all the same level. No, I don't because the Fortress one's more annoying. All the other Novas get the C tier. Which one is the strong one? We'll go with the third one. And that one gets to go to B tier. Woo! Super annoying. Super annoying. However, all you have to do, outcycle it. You just have to focus your resources on destroying the Novas. Their follow-up is always weak because they just spent all of it on one weapon. Eventually, they'll be stuck at a point where they don't have enough weapons to keep up that sort of Nova play. So then you can just go ahead and push, do your damage, wait. It's just a waiting game. That's all it is. Sorry, also, I should have mentioned, I'm a little sick, so I'm stuffy. Don't care. The Tierlist grind goes on. Helix. Yuck. Disgusting. I hate it. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's pretty bad. No. You get the worst in the B tier. There's going to be a lot of B tier guys. A lot of B tier. And that's a good thing, really, on the Blaston devs, that there's a lot of things that are not overpowered, not completely trash. But I think mostly it's going to come down to what arena you're in or what level you are, because the effectiveness of lasers in like 1500, boom, you're grinding all the way to Overlord, easy peasy. Same thing for like Helix. It's going to help you win, but you come to me in Overlord with Helix, I'm not even an Overlord. I shouldn't say that. Well, I am an Overlord player, but never mind, I'm not helping my case. I'm going to just shoot it down. Raptors, Raptories. Heck, I can even shoot a few Wildcat pellets into that bad boy. I'll weapon toss it, you're done. It's bad. Don't use Helix. Unless you want to, but it's gross. I'll hate you. Pristine. This bad boy. You know, it's better than Nova. But that's not much better than anything else. It is more versatile. That's the only reason I give it that, because you can shoot up. Woo! And you can use it as defense like Nova. It's a little harder, but not really. You just shoot the orb and everything you want to get rid of. What else do I want to say? Not much, really. Some of the attachments, they're not on here, by the way. They're kind of cool. Some, like, splitty split and some other more annoying stuff, which just, in my opinion, puts them in higher versions of B tier. Just because they're really kind of strange, and I'm sure somebody can come along, Josie 24, blah blah blah. You know the names of the people on Tesseract. They'll come and be like, "Hey guys, look at my brand new shiny Helix build," and it'll be centered completely around the Helix, and they're already top players, and they'll win with it. That's because they're good, guys, not because Helix is good. Helix, I mean, Hurricane Nova thing. It's telling me. Raptor! I love Raptor because it's like ultra everything. Let's start with the speedy one. I know a lot of people are like, dang, bro, that's A tier. It's fast. It's high B tier. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do that much damage, but damage isn't really the thing that Raptor's good for. But it should be when it's speed, because the speed Raptor is meant for damage, eh? It is not meant to be set at the back and used as a trap. Little orb. No. However, I know I skipped one. We'll come back to that one. Split one. This was my first love. Actually, that's a lie. Excuse me. I loved Ammo Raptor more. And then they were like, psych, you can't shoot it very fast. I was like, oh no, I'm going to listen to everyone and say that it's not good anymore because I don't make my own opinions anymore. I don't know what I was thinking. But Split Raptor, that became my love. Used it for a while, revolutionized the quick CD build. Great weapon, insta-trap, random spread. That is a downside, even though it always seems to work in a pretty favorable way. Can't beat it. Its cost is so good. So good. 2 seconds for a trap that will have their attention. They will either shoot it down. That's going to be an equal trade for you. Win-win. Or they'll shield it, which would be silly, but they'll probably use the shield for your follow-up, which is still a positive to me. Shield bait. Yeah, only downside is you can't use it for defense, which brings me to the best Raptor, which is better than this Hurricane, which is better than this, which in my opinion is also better than this, and it is better than, we'll just leave it there for now. We'll just, in my heart, it's better than both of these, but I can't do it. I can't do that. So you can go to the back of your podium, put your hand behind your back. I know you can't see it. I've got my hand behind my back because I'm reenacting how to do it, even though you can't see it. You shoot them. You work your body forward. You keep on shooting them. You do little shapes with them. You know, you block them off just like you shoot them how you want your Split Raptor to be. They are not as slow off the bat as Split Raptor. Still very doable to make traps with it. Very doable. Plus 8 shots, huge. You're gonna have a few left over. You can shoot down all kinds of hurricanes. You can shoot a grenade out of the air, one shot, and then throw your Raptor into it to break it. You can use it with Raptor and Raptor E and shoot nades out of the air. It can do a lot. It can do a lot of things. And it does a lot of things well. You could be using it as defense. You could be in the corner getting pelted by everything. Bring that gun out, just shoot it and shoot it and shoot it. Everything they shoot at you is going to get destroyed. It's great. Lovely. My hair's a mess. Ugh. Okay. Raptor. Not better than the attachments, that's for sure. Let's put him. I like normal Raptor, I do. Because it's only 2 CD, I'm going to put it up. I don't... I do think it's better than these Hurricanes. And better than... Yeah, well... I'm not too concerned about, like, the order of list as much as where they're at in their tier. That's just my I would go back and forth and change things over and over and over and over. Raptor E! Right behind my ammo boy. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one. But I've been saying it. Raptor's better than Raptor E, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Everyone's been using this thing forever. Pew, 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 pew. Great curves, great for pressure, great for slow pressure. You can use it for defense. It's a little bit wonkier than Raptor, but you can do it. Not very hard to do. Yeah, it's just a really solid weapon. Super Majestic. Right behind in B tier. Too expensive for what it does. Great trap, destroys a lot of people that are bad at the game, and a lot of people that are good at the game. Gotta cover the people I know that have been beaten by Super Majestic. It's just harder to deal with. But it's once you are able to deal with it, it's over with. Goodbye. Swarm, with its attachments that make it a little better. I think it's better than the two of these. I think Raptor's better. Tundra. On paper, this thing should be really good. That delayed fire holds it back from A tier, in my opinion. Even though it is really good. It might be very low A tier, but I'm going to put it in high B tier. The delayed, the trigger, the charge up, whatever you want to call it, that's the only thing holding it back. Other than that, it's boom, boom, boom. Projectiles do great damage. Great thing. Vandal, it's not completely useless, but it's useless at the same time. I'll put it in low C tier because it could be used to counter a few really bunkery and shieldy builds. No, it's bad. High D tier. It's bad. Vector, unfortunately, with some of its attachments are good, but it's also good stock. It's really annoying. I'm putting it in A tier. It's really solid still. I don't want to talk about Vector very much because it's gross. But that's what I think it deserves for its overall performance and how easy it is to use, per se. Like, I'm not saying anyone can just pick it up and make it super effective. You've got to learn some spots to shoot it to make it work with your combos. But as far as once you learn that, you just shoot it there and it works. Like, it'll play the game for you, in other words. Viper, this is the damage one. Not very good, I think. That makes it a little slower, I believe. That sounds about right. This is, yeah, because this is the bounty one, which does get B tier, sadly, because I hate it. It's gross, but it's good. Where do I want it? 4 seconds. That's really strong. Let's put it right here. The delayed one is garbage, bro. I know there's probably some. I've heard a couple people, like, I think Tesseract used this, or maybe it was Monty in one of the last tourneys. I heard they used it and said it was decent. Again, that's because they're good and they can make a lot of things work. Not because this is good. The average dude's just gonna go spam, 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 and all the bullets are gonna miss, or I'm gonna block it. It's just not gonna work. Vipery, the goat of Blaston, the most fun weapon to use, satisfaction-wise. Still very viable. Very viable. I think it is here. Right behind Raptor Ellipse. I think that's fair. Ooh, with Curve Luma. These two can sort of be interchangeable, but I think that's sort of where they are. Stock Viper, 4 seconds, can do great work at low levels. I wouldn't take either of these two attachments over it, but I would take Bounce because it's better, even though it's less collision. It's still better, I would still take it. So let's put it like, I don't really know where to put things anymore because I'm a lost little sheep. I think it's better than these two. It's better than this. You know, I'm going to just stick it with his brother. Wildcat, my favorite besides Hammer. My second favorite. Speed Boy. Heck yeah. This is tough. This is tough. I think overall, it fits. I get it. Luma can fit in every combo as your damage. Understandable. I get that. It's better damage than Wildcat. You can shoot down nades with it. Wildcat can't do that. You can also scare people. I just had a lovely conversation with Tesseract about how you could go to the front of your podium, hold it here, yeah. Don't get hit, buddy, I'm scaring you. Not going to work on me, but I'm not everyone. You can do that. However, it only has 3 bullets and is not meant for the same thing as Wildcat. Wildcat excels in supporting every weapon in the game. Supports with Raptor E so well. Supports with Viper E very well. Always has, always will. Any damaging weapon except Luma, because that's 2 hands, will work good with Wildcat because it just lays that constant pressure to support other weapons. Not to mention, you can tap fire it to keep enemies with constant pressure on them. Like, boom, 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 you know? Just to keep them moving, you know? Makes it harder for them to set things up. Yeah, you can scare them with Luma, but, again, only going to work on some players and for 3 shots, plus you wasted your damage then. I'd rather waste my supportive gun, for its main purpose like that, to make it harder for them to do things. Also, when I'm getting shot at, to shoot back at them with this. You can shoot back with Luma. Again, very close, but Wildcat does it better for me, in my opinion. And I love Luma. I use it all the time, getting major damage with it. But again, not what Wildcat's for. Wildcat is a supportive item. It's so well at it. And this is Speed Wildcat, by the way. I'm not talking about normal one. That's a B tier item. We've always loved Wildcat, but after all of its changes, it used to have a ton of ammo, which they gave it an attachment now, which is slower, which we'll talk about that in a second. I don't care. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, that's fine. Collision Wildcat, bro. I take this back. There we go. There we go. Our awful weapons have been sorted. Some usefulness, no usefulness, no use. Actually, there we go. Some usefulness, none. I mean, what? It can't even destroy anything. Am I defensively using my SMG? Nah, it's not happening. It doesn't make sense to. And, I love the idea. Being able to shoot down nades with Wildcat is kind of cool. Doesn't make sense because Raptors and hammers feel way more natural. But I like the idea. The execution was awful, though. He doesn't destroy anything. So, yeah, there it goes. This is an interesting one. I'm giving it high B tier, actually. I think that if they were to get rid of, 3 or 4 of its ammo, kind of defeats the whole purpose of lots of shots, but made it slightly slower bullets. That would be the ultimate change for me. Right now, it's really hard to get your line of bullets to come in together, which it should take skill to do, don't get me wrong. But it's nigh impossible to get a good setup with it for what it actually is worth, especially for such low damaging bullets. I want them to be able to sort of draw out more patterns with it more effectively. Versus now it's just kind of like a spam it and hope it works. I want it to be more precise is what I'm saying. So that would be a nice change for it. But it's still good. Especially with I know I said it's a supportive weapon, which is what it does here, but Wildcat is able to actually deal damage alongside supporting versus this one is more just chip. So it's kind of like Hammer E if you weren't curving it from the sides, and yeah. It's sort of like a combo setup per se, which is really good because it can be annoying to spray a line of bullets, 2 lines. They're gonna have to, but right now they can just drop block through it, which is kind of a joke, but it's still good. Age of Shield. For me personally, it would be somewhere in here, but for the grand scheme of the game, I would be silly to not put it. For me, I think shieldless is better overall, but I don't think the game has evolved, and not everyone has evolved into the shieldless meta. Not everyone physically can evolve shieldless. It can destroy almost everything. It's super cheap. You can throw it. It's great. I'm going to just put it here just to make everyone happy. Even though I think it's, for me personally, I think, this is my tier list, so screw that. Me personally, it should go like here. Because I think both of these are better, but this is better. Yeah. Because I played double Raptor defense, so I can shoot things out that way. I can destroy everything coming my way for cheaper, and it's more versatile. So for me personally, my tier list, I prefer shieldless. But I understand Aegis Shield is extraordinarily powerful and does good for almost everyone in the game because almost everyone uses it. Bunker, C tier. Yeah, it's I kind of want to put it in low B tier, but I'm gonna put it in C tier. Because things like Collision Hammer exist now. It can be really good, especially in the middle game, like middle of LP, like players, like again, like Elite or whatever. It can provide you with a lot of good stuff. You can shoot through the shield, excellent. You can use the bunker handle to destroy nades. It's got great drop blocking, extraordinarily good health. It's really good. But, again, it's just a waste of an item higher up, and people are going to counter you. Curves, yada, 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 nades, you're done for. Cortex, B tier. I'm gonna group it here with, like, the two chunky boys here. There's no reason not to take Aegis Shield. It costs more, does less. It's good for middle game players that don't understand what Aegis Shield is used for. Like, if you want a shield that's a Spartan handhold shield to get you through some things, yeah, Cortex will do that for you. But when you understand that Aegis is meant to be thrown to destroy things coming your way, or you can just quickly pop it and destroy everything in front of you, that is when you transition over to Aegis Shield. Because it's good for denying things. Like, I already told everything I needed to tell about. Yeah. I've said everything. Moving on. Snowballs. Snowball 3 is the collision one, I believe. That's the only one I think that's an A tier one. The non-drop blockable one, I think that's high. I think that's like right there. That's fine. All these other snowballs are sort of low B tier, in my opinion. They're really cheap. They're really good pressure. And again, these snowballs are going to do wonders in the middle level ranked players' games. They're going to be able to hit players that aren't dodging these things super easily. People aren't going to be drop blocking. You'll have a great time using this spammy snowball for 2 seconds. However, hit Overlord. It becomes harder. And it's just, there's better weapons to take instead of that slot, basically. Hammers. Fast one. I think wild. I keep right-clicking. I'll put it there. Collision Hammer goes right with it as normal hammer goes behind it. Kind of consistent there. Because these are balanced. One has a trade-off meant for one thing, the other has a trade-off meant for another. They all excel pretty well at what they're doing, but there's one that stands out. This bad boy. Right here. Charge Hammer. You can go at the back of your podium, shoot 2, have an instant trap that's pretty deadly to deal with your follow-up with Wildcat, Raptor, E, Nade, Luma, Nova Nade, whatever you choose. It's going to be deadly. Great trap. You can charge it, easily shoot things out of the air. You can charge it and launch forward, get a cheeky little hand shot, my favorite leg shot, whatever. It's great. It's just, besides like Raptor, I think it's probably the most versatile item in the entire game, just based off of what you can do with it. Like, it can do a little bit. It's not going to excel at everything, but it can do a little bit of everything. And so just being able to make that super cheap, 3-second item work in that regard is just, it's excellent. Hammery. Oh my gosh. We all know this is up here. I'm going to put it right behind this one. It controlled the game for so long. Clamps. I'm still waiting for people to do new clamps. Everyone does the same boring old side ones, and I get that's what's the most effective right now. But I want to see more unique clamps. Make it happen. Do something different. But yeah, super effective. Great setup, but that's pretty much its only purpose. It excels at its only purpose, but it's not that versatile. It's versatile in all builds, fits in almost every build, but it only has a pretty much main clampy purpose. Avenade, I think the stock is the best one. It's got that one attachment that speeds up, which is kind of good, but again, it spreads out the projectiles, and Avenade excels on those clumps of projectiles hitting you at once to do that major zap damage, versus if only one hits you, you're just going to move out of the way in time, and it won't do much more than like 6-8 damage to you. Great nade. On its own, I believe it's better than Majestic Nade is. Now we gotta talk about lances. Oh, we do have the lance attachments. Cool. 4-shot lance can go slightly above normal lance, but these damage and collision ones, they're gonna get the low road. Yeah. So yes. Let's see. Bet. As I stay silent. That concludes it. I don't know, but I probably will get a bunch of footage of all these weapons as I'm talking about them, but I kind of jumped back and forth and did weird stuff because I'm me. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe I'll do more videos. Maybe I won't. Maybe this will be the Wesos one and done kind of spiel. Kind of used to that. But hey, this is Blaston content. That means I'm involved with Blaston, which is already more than what I do in Q. Goodbye.